I'm so happy to be here with you. We're going to start with a head hang, and there's two different ways that we're going to hang our head. One is from the base of your neck. You're going to let your head hang down from the base of your neck. And then the other one is from the base of your skull. So your whole neck doesn't drop forward, you just drop your chin down. And that one pulls a little bit more at the base of your skull where your neck connects to your skull. So let's start with those two. And from your seat, tilting your pelvis upright, your ribs relax down. If you feel that you have to hold your pelvis in the upright position, you're not able to relax here, or your hips keep rolling back, get something under your hips, a blanket, a towel, a pillow, something a little bit thicker to lift your hips a little bit higher. And then extend your legs long, heels down, toes up in the air. And from here, drop from the base of your neck. Drop your chin all the way down. Soften your face, relax your jaw. And with your head dropping down from the base of your neck, nice and slowly nod your head no. It's really small. You're just going to an inch or less either way. And then bring your chin to center, and even smaller, nod your head yes here. It's a very small movement. Feel your shoulder blades wide across your upper back. And then slowly lift your head up. And now we'll do a head hang, but from just the base of our skull. So you're not dropping down from here, you're just dropping your chin in any amount. Your forehead comes forward a little bit. You can kind of tuck your chin back a little bit. Relax your forehead, relax around your eyes, your nose, your lips. And keeping your chin down and in, turn your head no. Very small movement. Relaxing your jaw. And then come to center with your chin down and in, a little nod of your head yes. Very small movement. We always want to take big movements, but the small movements are equally important, especially on the cellular level. And then slowly lift your head up. Okay, bend your knees, walk your feet wide, looking at the outer edges of your feet. That determines that your feet are straight, inner thighs open. We'll do dynamic side bends here. Your palms turn out to your sides. Take your right arm up and over, and then your left arm up and over, and just move at your own pace. Smooth inhales and exhales. Feel into the sides of your waist, into the sides of your ribs, into the sides of your shoulder. Let's do one more after this left arm goes over. We'll do one more with the right and one more with your left side. And now you can either give your arms a rest and just let them rest by your side, or you can reach your arms out to your side, palms up. But with our feet wide, we're letting our knees roll in towards each other and rolling to the inner edges of our feet, and then opening our thighs and going out to the outer edges of our feet a little bit. Take your time. Try not to rush. Try not to let your legs fall. So you're not just yanking them open and letting them fall in. You're trying to go slow and feel the different ranges of motion. And when my thighs go in, they want to drop in. So I've got to slow myself down and be more purposeful. And of course, your arms don't have to be out to the sides here. Breathing. Okay, next time your leg's open, if you scoot it off your chair a little bit, scoot yourself back, take your right arm up and over into a side bend, and with your feet wide, let's roll our thighs in and out here while we're in the side bend. Ankles are right under your knees or a little bit in front of your knees. And then let's switch. So reach your left arm up and over, reaching over, and then thighs roll in nice and slowly and roll out to the outer edge of the foot. And let's do that a couple more times. And then bring that hand down. All right, walk your feet into hip distance apart. Sit back in your chair, lean back in your chair, cross your right ankle over your left knee. Now, if this is common that this is a lot to bring your foot so high, so you can use any kind of prop. This is a tall yoga block. You could put a tall yoga block, anything that you have, a stack of books, a small stool, you could put your foot on and let it drop open, and you're still getting the same benefits while you slowly improve the range of motion in your hip. So very important, you don't want to bypass it, get something a little bit lower than your knee, and then over time, go higher. Sometimes you'll see me, even though I can get my ankle on my knee, I'll still practice with something of different heights because we want to work different ranges of motion in the hip. Just because this range of motion works well doesn't mean that this range of motion, this range of motion, this range of motion does. We want to work all those ranges of motions. So leaning yourself back, interlace your right pinky finger on the bottom, press away with your hands. Try to get a nice even interlace. If your fingers splay apart, bring them in closer. Let's circle our thumbs here. So circle your thumbs around in one direction, go slow. Your hands are small muscles, so you want to work gently. And then let's do a couple circles in the other direction. And very challenging, if you've never done this before, sometimes getting your fingers to do what you want is not easy. So be patient, but you'll wake up the muscles and they will start to connect to the nervous system. And then release your hands and rotate from your pelvis like you're trying to get your top pelvic bones forward over your bottom pubic bone. You're trying to sit up tall here. And then let's switch sides. So lean back, uncross, ankle right under the knee, knee in line with the hip as you either put your prop inside your right foot or cross the ankle over, let that thigh drop open. Interlace your left pinky finger on the bottom, press away, get that even interlace. Notice as you press away, if your hands are always up here, let your arms start working a little lower to give your shoulders a break from always being up by your ears. So relax your shoulders down, even interlace, press away, and let's circle the thumbs a couple times in each direction. After you go a couple times in one direction, circle in the other direction. And then press away, release your fingers, and rotate your pelvis. You're trying to sit up tall. And then you can lean back a little, take that foot off. If you were using a prop, just move it out to the side so it's not in your way. And then from here, let's ankles under your knees, outer edges of feet straight, open your arms to the side, pelvis upright, ribs relax down, focus on your belly button, turning to the right, and then turning to the left. And you can just go at your own pace, but try to really focus on the waist motion. So a lot of times people will turn from their shoulders and neck and their actual waist doesn't move at all. Can you feel that tension right around your waist? Can you feel your belly button turning a little bit? And the more upright you are with your pelvis and your ribs relaxed down, over time, the more and more you'll be able to feel that area. Breathing. Letting the breath flow freely, just making sure you're not holding the breath. And the next time you turn your waist to your right, hold and really work from the belly button. So not so much about turning the shoulders and the head, focus on that waist. And then rotate and turn the waist in the other direction. Focus on the waist. Relax your belly. All right, unwind there. Extend your legs long, heel down, toes up in the air. You can hold on to the sides of your chair or the back of your chair and just rotate your thigh bones, trying to keep your legs straight. The rotation is happening from the very tops of your thigh bones. Your knees and your feet are just going along for the ride. And next time you turn your thigh bones out, so your knees and toes are turned out to the side, open your arms to your sides, palms up, and slide your ribs to the right and to the left. Do the best you can. At first, if the weight is tight, this can be a really hard motion to find. Remember, you're relaxing your ribs down and back, and just doing your best to get your ribs to slide to one side and then the other side. And slide, and slide. And then come back to center. Rotate your thigh bones in so your knees and toes turn in towards each other. Hold there, open your arms out to the side. Slide your ribs to the left, slide your ribs to the right. Slide and slide. A couple more times each side. And then come back to center and release your arms. Turn your legs back to neutral, toes up, and then bend your knees. Okay, let's come into a lunge, but you'll want whatever you're using for a strap to be nearby. So grab that, spin around into a lunge, slide your knee behind underneath your hip. You can work with top of the foot, toes tucked under, or top of the foot down. I recommend varying between both of them. But most of us in modern culture need more work with flexing our ankle. So if you're not sure which one to practice, you can always come to this one. And then from here, turn your palm and your elbow pit, the soft front part of your elbow, forward and pull your arms straight back. And then as you go up in the air, try not to lift from your ribs. Keep the ribs relaxed down as just your arm goes up and the palm of your hand stays facing behind you. And sweep the arm back. And sweep the arm up, and sweep back, and sweep up, sweep back, and sweep up. Good. Let the arm come down. Grab your strap, create a loop with your strap or a lasso. Hold on with that loop, and then wrap it around your ankle and slide your thigh bone back. You can have it anywhere from a little bit off the floor to higher in. Just if your knee pops forward, slide it back. And remember, we're not always going for greatest range of motion, because it's a misconception that if you have this range of motion, that all the other range of motions are healthy, but that's just not how the body works. So sometimes if you can get high up, you want to hold higher up, but oftentimes you want to do a little lower and maybe sometimes right off the floor. Vary your ranges of motion to truly build health at the cellular level. Let's take a few more breaths here. And then release and spin around to the other side. And we'll come back to the strap in a moment. First, just start with the knee under the hip, toes tucked under or top of the foot down, elbow pit and palm forward, ribs relax down, and arm goes up and pull straight back. Arm goes up and pull straight back. Take your time. Feel the muscles around your shoulder, your upper back, your chest, and pull straight back. And arm goes up and pull straight back. And we'll go one more. Arm goes up and pull straight back. And then relax your arm, grab your strap, create your lasso, and lasso it around your ankle. And when we're doing this stretch, we want to get it around the ankle more so than the foot so we can keep our ankle flexed. Draw your thigh bone back. Choose a height for today. And breathe here. Notice if the knee pops out to the side a little or the lower leg tends to veer to one side. Try to line up the knee right under the hip and the ankle right behind the hip. And then release that leg. You can put your strap to your side by now and come back around to the front of the chair. And from here, let's lean back, cross your right ankle over or grab your prop and put it inside your left foot. Rotate your pelvis upright and then try to keep moving from the pelvis as you turn forward into a little bit of a forward fold. Checking that your bottom edge of your foot is straight, your ankle's under your knees in line with your hip. It's very common in this pose that people turn their foot crooked and walk their foot in, and the angle of your stable leg or your leg that's on the ground changes the stretch in this hip. So we're just coming back to neutral here. And then come up and switch legs, putting the ankle right under the knee, crossing over, rotate it forward from the pelvis to come up right, and then seeing if you can rotate that pelvis a little more. And if it's hard to rotate the pelvis anymore, definitely get your hips a little bit higher on something to sit on through class. And sometimes I will sit on something higher through class just to make that easier for me to rotate my pelvis. So again, we're all about varied ranges of motion and not always doing what we think is harder, because that doesn't work for the body. You want to have all different ranges of motion. Good, and then come back up and release that. Okay, you can do this with a shoe on, or if it's safe and you have a safe space and you know that there's no objects that could hurt your feet, you can start working more, especially since we're at home with socks on or bare feet. But you're going to tuck the top of your right foot back and try to land right in line with your knee, but you're trying to get that area where your shoelaces would be onto the floor. If your foot cramps, just come out, let it relax. And then reach your right hand forward, spread your fingers out nice and wide. And we already circled the thumbs, but let's do one circle of the thumb in each direction. Circle the thumb one way, circle the thumb the other way, and then try to do circles with your pointer finger and circle in the other direction. And then how about circles with your middle finger and circle in the other direction? Can be kind of tricky. Circle with your ring finger and circle in the other direction. Circle with your pinky finger and circle in the other direction. And then release that hand, release your foot, ankle under the knee, tuck the top of the other foot behind you. If you don't have something cushioned, it's nice to have something cushioned back there, so your mat or a towel or a blanket, rather than if you're on a hardwood floor. Bring your left hand forward, spread all your fingers out, gently circle your thumb one time in one direction, and then go in the other direction. Then keep your thumb spreading out as you circle your pointer finger, and then go in the other direction, and middle finger, and other direction, and ring finger, and other direction, and pinky finger, and other direction. Excellent. And then bring that foot out. All right, from here, walk your feet wide again, roll to the outer edges of your feet and hold. So your thighs are getting a nice opening here. Ribs relax down, reach your right arm forward, lift the arm up as high as you can so that your palm is behind you and your ribs stay down. At first, if you're not used to moving from your shoulder and you're used to moving from your spine, it might not go very high. That's okay. Tap your shoulder. If your elbow pops out, hug it in a little and extend. Tap and extend. Tap and extend. Tap and extend. Now tap, hold, elbow goes up and in, reach around with your other hand and just pull the elbow back without leaning your chest back or lifting your ribs up. And you can slide your ears back over your shoulders a little bit. Rolling to the outer edges of the feet, as long as it's okay for your feet and your ankles. And then release that arm, ribs relax down, left arm goes forward, lift as high as you can without the ribs going up. Tap, elbow in, extend, tap, extend, tap, extend, tap, extend, then tap, hold, push that elbow up a little bit, ribs relaxing down, breathing here. And then release that arm down. All right, from here, roll to the inner edges of your feet. Let your knees drop in. And for some people, this is a lot harder to do. Just do the best you can to let your knees drop in. And if you notice they keep pulling open, keep dropping them in. And from here, we'll focus on our collarbones. You have two bones right at the base of your neck, one on either side. You're going to pull your skin taut. So you're going to pull down on the skin on the right side of your neck, kind of pull it down towards your collarbone. You're making it, it's like you're stretching out, gently stretching out your skin. And then lift your chin up and over in the opposite direction, so over to the left. And as you lift your chin up into the air, you'll feel that pull on the front side of your throat and the side of your neck. You can stay there. You can push your bottom lip forward, your bottom teeth forward, your bottom jaw forward. Breathing. Great stretch to tone up this area of the body. Also, we tend to hold a surprising amount of tension here because of forward head posture. So as this area improves range of motion, let your chin come down. It'll be easier to slide your ears back over your shoulders. And then from here, pull your skin down gently towards your left collarbone. Lift your chin up and take it over to the right. And then you can push your bottom lip forward, your bottom teeth forward, your bottom jaw forward. Breathing here. And then bring that chin down. Now open your knees up, place your ankles a little bit wider than your hips, pelvis upright, ribs relaxed down. Put one hand on your breastbone so this area doesn't move. And now let's ramp our head a few times. Let your head purposely go forward a little and slide your ears back over your shoulders. When you slide back, try not to tilt your head back so your chin stays parallel with the floor. And I have quite a range of motion here because I have a long neck, which also can mean it means my neck is more susceptible sometimes to injury if I don't take care of it. So your range of motion might not be as big if you don't have such a long neck, but that's not such a bad thing. Breathing here. And then from there, release your hand and walk your feet in to hip distance apart. And now we're going to work on getting up out of the chair. So a couple things you're paying attention to is, first, do you scoot your feet back? Most people scoot their feet back because they're used to using more of the muscles on the front of the chain of their body and less on the back. The more you keep your ankles forward under your knees, the more you use the muscles on the back of your body to help you get up, which is what we want. Those are big muscles. They should be helping lift us up. At first, it might be too difficult, so notice how much you scoot your feet back and try to scoot them forward just a little bit. Eventually, your ankle's under your knees. Next, pay attention. Do your thighs collapse out or collapse in? Collapsing in is more common, especially like right about when you're about to get up and right when you're about to sit down. Try to keep your knees open, hip distance apart. Come up with less momentum. So for a lot of people, we come up and don't use muscle, we use momentum. Try to lean forward, barely lift your buttocks up off the chair, push your hips back to use more of the back of your legs to come up. Then make sure you feel very confident that your chair is right behind you. And same thing, as most people sit back, again, watch those caving thighs, they fall to the chair at some point. Try not to fall. So drop yourself down and go slowly all the way down. It's usually right before you come to the chair that thighs will collapse in. It's showing the lack of stability in those muscles, and then you end up creating a muscle imbalance because you're using more of some muscles, less of other muscles. So if you find that it's hard for you to keep this alignment of your legs and your ankles under your knees, the best thing to do would be put something under your hips so that the distance you travel doesn't have to be so far at first, and it allows you to focus more on alignment and less on the distance to the chair. All right, thighs open, push down through the feet, push your hips back as you come up, and push your hips back and go nice and slowly down to the chair. Use the whole sole of the foot. Press down as soon as your hips come up, push them back, use the back of the legs to come up, and sit your hips back and go nice and slowly to the chair or to whatever you have resting on your chair to make it a little higher. And let's do one more time. Inner thighs open, push down through the feet, come up, and sit your hips back and go nice and slow back down. And then this time we'll push down to come up and come all the way up to stand and come around to the back of your chair. So if your chair is away from the wall, you should just be able to leave your chair where it is and come right around to the back of it. Ooh, whoops. And then from the back of the chair, you'll put your hands on either side of the chair and walk back. 2 straight arms, 2 straight legs. Try to line up your ankles right underneath your hips so your hips can go a little bit behind them. Relax your belly. You're trying to, over time, get the natural curvature of your spine. So it's common that when most people start out, they start out with like a rounded spine. You're trying to let your spine drop down a little, your belly drop down, and eventually you'll bring this curvature back right behind your waist. Breathing here, a few more breaths. If you are used to lifting and lowering your kneecaps, you can practice that now. and then slowly press to come up. Okay, we will do a calf stretch every class, just about. So I'm going to use a rolled up mat, a thick rolled up towel, not mat, a rolled up mat works well too, to put down. You could use a thin yoga block, you could use a book, but you'll always want to keep these props nearby. You could use a half dome foam roller if you have one of those. Put the ball of your foot up, heel down on the floor, and step your opposite foot forward any amount. Okay? When you step your opposite foot forward, it's common at first that you feel like you're going to lean forward or your leg muscles start clenching up. That means don't step that foot so far forward. Over time, you'll be able to step it through smoothly without your right heel coming up off the floor. So we'll have right foot up, left foot down. Reach your right arm forward, hand to the shoulder, elbow in the air, but ribs relax down. Open your elbow to the side and curl it in. Open and curl in. Open and curl in. Open and curl in. Extend that arm up, let it come down, switch feet. Ball of the left foot up, heel down on the floor. One wonderful thing about doing these at home is that you can vary your calf stretch. So sometimes something a little higher, something a little lower, but you don't want to go too high too quickly. You really, because if you go too high, you'll bypass the bulk of the muscle. So just start a little bit low and work your way up to a little bit higher. Maybe that right foot steps forward, left arm goes forward, hand to the shoulder, elbow up as ribs go down. So usually when the elbow goes up, the ribs go up, ribs down, elbow up, open to the side and close. Open and close. Open and close. Open and close. Extend that arm up, bring your arm down. You can move that prop out of the way. And now we're going to do a top of the foot stretch. This is not one that I did a lot in my in-person classes with chair classes because most of us were wearing our shoes. You can do this with your shoe on. It won't be very productive if your shoe is very stiff, but push down through the right foot and tuck the top of the foot behind you, hopefully onto a mat or a cushion or a towel. And stretch the top of your foot out. If your foot cramps, that's normal at first. It's a little bit of balance play, so you can always hold on to your chair. Try to push down through your standing leg hip, and if the hip tends to pop out to the side, bring the hip in, stacking the hip over the knee and over the ankle. And let's switch sides. Feet straight, ankles hip distance. Push down through the left hip and tuck the top of the right foot behind you. And breathing here. Relax those feet muscles as much as you can. This is one that when people first do, they're shocked often at the tension in the front of their foot. But over time, the more you do it, it will really start to feel better. It will start to feel like a nice stretch. The main way, come on out of that, to stop putting tension in the front of your feet is when we're standing, we have a tendency, especially because this area tends to be tight because of all of our sitting, that's just one reason it pulls our hips forward. And then when people stand, they stand with their weight in the front of their feet, and it tightens their feet over time because that's not really what your feet are meant to be doing. They're not supposed to be supporting the weight of your body. So it tightens and weakens them. So when you're standing, back your hips up, and especially if you have feet issues too, that's one of the first steps to healing feet issues is not overloading your feet all the time. Backing your weight up into your heels. So your center hip, center knee, and center ankle are in line with each other. Okay, from the back of your chair, feet straight, ankles hip distance apart, put your hands on your chair, and then we'll walk back. Once again, hips go back behind the heels, put a little bend in your elbow, and then reach your right arm over on top of your left arm. It's like you're putting elbow on elbow, and pull your hips back. Palm faces up. And switch. Little bend in the elbow, one elbow rests close to the other one, pull the hips back. If you can lift and lower your kneecaps easily, all these thoracic poses are a great time to rotate your thigh bones into neutral. If you're just starting out with classes, you're just working on feet straight, ankles hip distance, all the rest of the cues are coming, but you want to work on the foundation for a while first. And then bring that hand out, walk up to the chair, step your big toes together, and sit back into a leg together chair pose. Try to lead with the hips going back, not with the knees going forward. So slide back as much as you can. Press into your feet to come up. Step your feet wider than hip distance apart, maybe about the width of your chair. Sit your hips back, feet straight. Watch the thighs collapsing in or out. And press up. Step your feet about as wide as your mat or a little bit wider than the chair. Now you have something to line up and see that your foot's truly in a straight line. And sit your hips back. Keep pushing the hips back, inner thighs open as you press into the feet to come up. And then walk your feet back to hip distance apart. Sit back in your hips and step your right leg back into a lunge. And from there, I scooted my left foot forward a little so it's a little closer to the chair. Reach your right arm forward. Check your back foot. Do you tend to always be crooked? Can you line up through the center of the ball of your foot? And then from there, with your right arm forward, tap your shoulder and extend. Tap and extend. Tap and extend. Tap and extend. Put that hand down. As your torso comes upright, roll off your back foot and try to bend your knee to the floor a little, and then extend and lean your torso forward. As your torso comes upright, roll off your back foot. You'll notice my front knees not moving a lot, just moving a little. The motion's happening in the back foot and the back leg. Reach the leg back. Torso comes upright, bend that knee towards the floor any amount. And extend. Small motion at first is great. And then bend the knee, roll off the foot. It's a pretty big foot stretch. And stretch back. Push into your front heel, the ball of your back foot to step up. Feet straight, ankles hip distance. Sit back into a chair pose. Step your left leg into a lunge. Try to center so you're on the center of the ball of your foot. Reach your left hand forward. Tap. Extend. Tap. Extend, tap, extend, tap, extend. Put that hand down. As your torso comes upright, bend the back knee, roll down towards the floor, and come up. If you find your front knee going forward a lot, scoot your feet a tiny bit wider. Torso comes up, bend the back knee down, and extend through the leg as you lean forward a little. Torso backs up as you roll off your back foot, knee goes down, and extend. One more. Torso upright, knee goes down, and extend. Push into the heel of your front foot, the ball of your back foot, to push down, to step up. Okay, let's step your feet wide, outer edges of feet straight, weight back in the heels, turn your elbow pits and palm forward, pull your arms back and relax forward and just get into a swinging motion here with your arms going back. Breathing. Elbow pits and palms stay facing forward. You're not working on lifting your arms in front of you right now. You're just pulling back, relaxing forward. Pulling back, relaxing forward. Breathing. Front ribs relax down and back. And you can definitely go slower with this, a little faster over time. Definitely great to move with different speeds, but you want to start slowly and work your way up. And if it's your first time doing this, you might want to just go slow the whole time. Your body will thank you. One of the number one, there's just this article recently about how, there's been studies done about the number one reason people get injured is because they go into exercise programs and they do too much too soon. And it's not that the movement is not good for them, it's good for them, but the body likes slow adaptation. And you always want to go back to that slow adaptation too. You don't always want to go full force, even if you've been doing something a while. Always go back to the beginning steps. It's like going back and practicing, if you're on an instrument, going back and practicing the things you played in the beginning can still improve your skills over time. Okay, next time your arms go forward, now you're gonna lift them up. Try to keep the palms of the hands facing forward, or excuse me, the palms of the hands facing behind you, the back of your hands facing forward. As you go up, do your ribs go up? Relax them down. Do your elbows pop out? Hug them in a little. Side bend through your rib cage to the right. Side bend through your rib cage to the left. Let's go side to side a few times. To the right and to the left. To the right and to the left, to the right and to the left. Then come back to center, reach your arms out, turn your palms down, extend your wrists so your fingers point up, and then sit back into a wide squat. You're noticing if your thighs collapse in or your knees travel forward. Push your hips back, press into your feet to come up. Sit back. You can always put your hands on the chair and press up. Sit back, press up, sit back, hold. Let's flip our wrists down and up, down and up, down and up, down and up. Now come up to stand, curl your hands into a little fist, turn your wrist down and rotate your forearms slowly to one side and the other. Notice while you're standing here, is the weight in the front or the middle of your foot? Can you back your thigh bones up so it's more in the heels? You can push down through the front of your foot, making your foot active and stronger, but when your weight is over the front of your foot, over time it can weaken it and make it less active, which is not what we want for our feet since they're supporting our body all the time. All right, from there, release your arms. Grab your strap. Hold on to it behind your back with your palms face forward. Right by your sides, your hips is about shoulder distance apart. We're going to start wider. We're going to lift the strap off the back. But when you lift off, some people have this ability to really lock out their elbows. If that's you, put a little bend in your elbows and try to keep it on both sides. All right, from there, palms stay facing forward. Lift and lower. Lift and lower, ribs relax down, lift and lower. Now lift, hold, rotate forward from your pelvis. Breathing. Put those little bends in the elbows. If you tend to lock out, palms of the hand face the floor, slowly come back up. Walk your hands in right outside your hips. Now, we're going to keep walking our hands closer. If any time it just feels too uncomfortable for your shoulders, keep your hands in the wider place. Lift and lower, lift and lower, lift and lower, lift, hold, rotate your pelvis forward, push your thigh bones back. Keep your weight back in your heels as you slowly come up. Now bring your hands right inside your hips, so right inside your buttocks, just barely to the edge of your buttocks. Ribs relax down, lift and lower. Lift and lower, lift and lower, lift, hold, rotate forward from the pelvis any amount, back your thigh bones up, and slowly come up. Now how about walking your hands all the way together so the inner edges of your hands touch, your palms face forward, and if it's too close, just take your hands a little wider, lift and lower, lift and lower, lift and lower, lift, hold, rotate forward from the pelvis, breathing back your weight up into your ears. Turn your palms to face the floor, so notice if your wrists twist it, and slowly come up and release the strap, and you can place the strap by wherever you had it, and then come back to the back of your chair. Walk back, two straight legs, outer edges of feet straight, ankles hip distance, slide your hips back, bend your elbows towards the floor, the weight shifts forward, stretch your arms, your weight shifts back. Bend your elbows towards the floor, stretch back. Bend your elbows towards the floor, stretch back. Bend your elbows towards the floor, stretch back. All right, walk up to the chair. So depending on your chair, how it feels, how hard it is, how it feels on your elbows, you can put your elbows on the chair and bring your hands together. Your elbows are wide. I like to put a towel on the back of my chair. So I have a rolled up towel here. You could put a towel, you could throw a pillow on the top of your chair, a little bit more cushion for the elbows that are wide. Bring the hands together, elbows wide, hands together, push your hips back, and then you can bring your hands towards the top of your head. Great time to practice lifting and lowering your kneecaps if that's part of your practice, rotating your thigh bones into neutral. Relax your lower belly, and then release your hands down. Push a little through your elbows, but mostly through your legs. You can place that towel out of the way if it's going to fall off. And then from here, your right foot stays forward, your left foot steps back. Notice if that foot wants to turn out. If possible, try to keep the foot facing forward. Your ankles are hip distance apart, so not too close because then you'll feel like you're on a tightrope. Lift your left arm into the air and do a side bend over to the right. Reach from the backs of the legs into your heels. That will stabilize you. And then open your arms out to the side, palms up, and twist your belly to the right. Reaching through the legs. You're not turning the hips. Your hips stay facing forward. You're just turning from the waist up. Breathing. And then unwind your spine, hands to your hips. Rotate your pelvis. Keep stretching your legs long. Breathing. And slowly come up and switch legs. Left foot forward, right foot back, feet, ankles hip distance, feet straight. Reach your right arm up into the air without lifting the ribs. Press from the buttocks into your heels as you go over to the left into a side bend. Bring your arms open to your sides, just from the waist up. Turn the belly. Breathing. Ribs relax down. Unwind your spine. Rotate from your pelvis, two straight legs. Backing the weight up into the heels. And then slowly come up, lift off your back heel to step that foot forward. Bring your hands as wide as they'll go on your chair. Walk back, two straight arms, two straight legs. Push your hips back behind your heels. Then with your left hand on the chair, put your right hand on top of it. If it's okay for your right shoulder, flip your right hand up. Pull your hips back and push your hips a little bit over to the right. Bring your hips back to center. Put your right hand down, left hand on top. You can do palm face down or face up. Push your hips back and a little bit over to the left. Breathing. So in this class, sometimes for a few minutes, sometimes longer, we'll use a wall space. So if you can set yourself up by a wall space, that will help because you'll be right by it. Bring your hips back to center, release your hands. If you don't have a wall space, you can just be creative and use different heights. You can do things in the air without a wall space, but we're going to use the wall for a few things today, or later on you can remember this and go back and practice later. But facing the wall, put your hands right above your head, thumbs spread out, hands a little wider than your hips, feet straight, ankles hip distance, and just push your hips back. Two straight arms, two straight legs. So this is one of those moves that I recommend people practice every day. And the wonderful thing is you can do it from all different heights. You can do it from a wall at different heights. You can do it from your fireplace mantle. You can do it from your kitchen counter, the back of chairs that vary in height. Come up, put your hands more the height of your face. You might have to walk your feet back a tiny little bit and push your thigh bones back here. Breathing. And then come up, put your hands the height of your shoulders and push your thigh bones back here. And then come up slowly, put your hands the height of your chest and push your hips back here. Watch your elbows. Do they tend to pop out to the side? Can you wrap them down a little bit? Great time to practice neutral thigh bones. And press into your heels to come up. Now this one you can also do in the center of the room, but you can put your hip against the wall and it will give you a boundary to work with that you won't get if you just move your arm around in the center of the room, but still, moving is most important. Ribs relax down, one hip against the wall, reach your outside arm fingers to touch the wall, and then try to take that arm over as far as you can without that hip coming up off the wall, and then go back down. And go over, all 5 fingertips stay touching the wall, and back down. So the wall is creating a boundary for you. And one more. All right, then turn around, hip against the wall, feet straight, ankles hip distance, reach your outside arm to the wall, and move. And automatically on this side, I have more range of motion. People are often surprised how different one side is from the other. Let's do this 2 more times. It's just the upper body moving. No rush. Excellent, and then release. Okay, we're gonna finish up with some calf raises and a double calf stretch. I'm gonna use my rolled up towel because it's thick enough and it's hip distance apart. An extra yoga mat rolled up works great. 2 blocks that are the same height. In particular, the thinner yoga blocks are a little bit better than the thicker. 2 books that are about the same height will work, but we'll come back to that. So just be thinking about it. And again, this is one we'll do often. So you want to think about what props you'll want to use. And then with your feet straight, ankles hip distance apart, lift your heels up off the floor and lower down. The chair is great because it can help us stabilize a little better at first. What you're trying to do with your feet straight, ankles hip distance is when you go up, not let your ankles roll. Like, see how my ankles are rolling to the side? That's very common. The more equally you can push down through the balls of your feet, the more your heels can go straight up and straight down. So do the best you can. Again, the chair is very, very helpful at first and will help build the muscles more equally. And then another thing you can work on is not pitching forward, because the more that you pitch forward, the easier it is to get your heels up. The more you keep your body upright, it's almost harder to get your heels up off the floor. You'll feel a lot more work in your calf muscles. So go up and down nice and slowly. And even though my ankles still roll a bit, they're a lot better than they used to be. Gosh, when I first started, my ankles were way moving around. So do the best to stabilize the balls of your feet. Keep your heels as wide as your pinky toes. And go up and down. Breathing. All right, bring the balls of your feet up to the roll or whatever you're using, your 2 blocks, your 2 books. Push your hips back, heels on the ground. Relax the front of your thighs. Let your breath flow freely. And then slowly come up. Move your props out of the side. Come around to the front of your chair, which if you just came to the back, you might not even have to move your chair. Have a seat on something or hips on the chair. Outer edges of feet straight, ankles hip distance apart. Open your arms out to the sides. Pelvis upright, ribs relax down. Reach your right arm across as far as it will go. Open up. Keep your hands low chest level instead of up shoulder height. Reach your left arm across and open up. Right arm across. Open up. It's okay if it doesn't go all the way. Left arm across. Open up. One more each side. Right arm across. And open. Left arm across. And open. Now right arm across, hold. Hold on not below the elbow, not on the lower arm. Hold on to the upper arm. Pull out and across a little bit. Palm up. And then from here, torso faces straight ahead. Nice and slowly with your chin parallel with the floor. Turn and look over your right shoulder. And then turn and look over your left shoulder. Bring your head back to center. Right ear drops to right shoulder. Head up, left ear drops to left shoulder. When you go over to one shoulder, it's common that the head twists. So try to feel like you're taking your ear straight down to your shoulder. And then bring your head up, switch arms. Left arm goes across, pull on the upper arm, out and across. So we're trying to traction the shoulder, not pulling on the lower arm. And then notice if your fingers curl up here, we spend a lot of time with our fingers curled out. Spread out through the palm of your hand, chin parallel with the floor. Turn and look over your left shoulder. Without twisting the torso, turn and look over your right shoulder. Bring your head back to center, left ear to left shoulder without leaning your torso over to the left. And right ear to right shoulder. Good, and then bring your head up and release your arm from there. And from here, let's reach our right arm. Let's drop our right ear to our right shoulder. So nice and slowly, right ear to right shoulder. Reach your left arm out in front, palm and elbow pit up. Let's walk our feet wide for this one. So stretching the inner thighs open, outer edges of feet straight. Then slowly start to move your right arm around. And you can follow my pattern, but you don't have to. You're just kind of moving it. The biggest thing I notice is people want to rush. You're trying to feel the change of the muscle from your neck to your shoulder to your arm as you change the position of your hand. So go slow and feel how when you bring your arm forward, maybe it pulls a little bit more in the front of the neck as opposed to back, how it changes when you go a little bit higher to lower. I'd work about from shoulder height down most of the time. But look for areas of tension, and then you can just stay there for a moment and breathe and soften your jaw and relax your face. This is one of my favorite neck stretches. We'll do this one often. Sometimes we'll spend more time here. Bring your head up and your arm in, and then because we just stretched the one side, go really slow as you drop your left ear to your left shoulder. Reach your right arm forward, palm and elbow pit up. Start to move that arm around nice and slowly. Breathing. And just exploring. You're exploring the connection between your hand. So I feel a lot of tension in my hand at certain angles. Just moving areas that we usually don't move. Building our health from the inside out. And then pausing anywhere you find that you want to pause. Stay there for a few breaths. Spread out through the palms of your hands. And slowly bring your head up and your arm in. Twist your belly button to your right. Take a breath there. Pelvis upright, ribs relax down. Ears slide back over the shoulders. Twist your belly button to your left. Pause there. Unwind your spine, walk your feet into hip distance apart using your prop. So grab your block or whatever you use, cross your right ankle over your left knee, rotate forward from the pelvis. And switch. Ankles hip distance, feet straight, cross over, rotate forward from the pelvis. Feel like your weight is equal on both of your buttocks. You're not leaning more to one side. That might mean that you have to have your torso a little crooked at first, and that's okay. And then come on up, stretch your legs straight, heel down, toes up in the air, and rotate forward from your pelvis. Let your spine round, let your head drop down from the base of your neck. Feel along the chain of the back of the body, from the bottom of your feet, the back of your lower legs, the backs of your thighs, your buttocks, all the way up your spine, the back of the neck, the back of the head. Keep letting the head drop down unless it becomes uncomfortable. And then slowly roll yourself up and sit all the way back in your chair. And let your gaze soften and your eyes gently close. And for the last few minutes of class, become very present with your body and with your breath. We spend a lot of time with our thoughts and not often as much time just observing our bodies and feeling our sensations. So practice that now. And as you feel your body, try not to attach a story to what you're feeling. Just scan your body. Notice what you feel from your feet to your knees to your hips. Of course, go a little slower than that. From your hands to your elbows to your shoulders. From the seat of your pelvis all the way up to the crown of your head. Explore your body. Try to feel every area and then move on. Feel the next area. Be present with your body. Be present with your breath. There are so many benefits to this practice. I'll go over one of them. But let's sit and observe. And every time your mind wanders away, which can be every 2 seconds on some days, patiently and persistently bring it back. Keep bringing it back to your body. If you notice your mind wanders away, bring it back, bring it back, bring it back kindly. So why do we observe our bodies? Lots of reasons, lots of benefits. This is just one. But anything you pay attention to, you get better at. If you are learning to cook, the more attention you give over time, the more skilled you'll become. Same with playing an instrument. Same with working on cars. Unless, of course, it's not optimistic attention and you don't really want to be doing it. But if you want to learn something and you give it affirming attention, you will get better over time. Well, your body is a healing machine. If you cut yourself, the next thing the blood will start to clot, a scab will form. The body is always working to heal you and take care of you. Sometimes outer assistance is needed. That's why we're social creatures. We're here to help each other. But the more that you give your body attention and just let it do what it does, the better it will get at helping to heal you. We spend so much time with our thoughts and not enough time just being aware of our sensations and how we feel in our bodies and staying present with our bodies. And that practice can really help you heal on many levels. So take the time at the end of classes to sit and observe yourself. And then always feel free to do it more often throughout the day. Help your body help you. Bring your hands to heart center in gratitude for this day. Namaste. And when you get up out of your chair, scoot to the edge and pay attention to how you're getting up.